Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial. This tutorial I'm going to talk about the Servlet, JSP and JSTL. These are all the server-side components. That means they are executed on the server and then they render the information to the client. And that is what we can see on the browser. So what is a servlet? A servlet is part of Java programming language that performs HTTP request response models of web technologies. Servlets are compiled as .class files and are executed on the server side and therefore called server-side technology. Okay, so servlet is at the very core of our web technologies in Java, and it is at the core because it supports the basic HTTP request response model that we use in the web technologies. And again, when compiled, remember that servlets are compiled as .class files, and the extension of the servlet is also as .java file. Okay, it's just the way that we execute it differently. That's why we call it or we name it as servlet. But basically, this is a Java file and is compiled as a .class file. The JSP is also a server-side technology and is used to form a dynamic web pages. So what do we mean by the dynamic web pages? Let's say you would like to display the user list, and the user list is not static all the time. It's coming from the database. So you have to pull the information from the database, and then the JSP page is going to render that information, or render means like they are going to display that information to the HTML browser, okay, or to any of the browser. So that is why we are calling that this is the dynamic web pages, because the user list can change anytime. It's not static. Okay, and then the JSTL is a server-side tag library that is used for display of contents in the form of loop and conditions, etc. JSTL is used to avoid direct Java usage in JSP pages called scriptlets. So that means we can use Java directly in the JSP pages, but that is not the best practices, because we would like to show the dynamic contents. That means, let's say the user list was containing only 5 users at the first time, and then some of the users are added, so the user list now 10, and then after some time it is now 15. So that means you can see that the user list is changing, and whenever it is changing means it's dynamic, not static. And if you would like to display all this information to the web, that means you need some sort of loop, right, in order to loop all through the list. And how can we do that? There are two ways. One is directly importing the Java files onto the JSP files, and we are saying that it's not the best practice. I mean, we should never use it. So the other option is using the JSTL or the tag library, and this is a server-side components, and it gives some features so that we can use, or we can display the dynamic contents on the JSP pages. Okay, so that's all about this tutorial. We are going to talk about individually of servlets and JSPs and JSTLs in the later tutorials. Thank you.